Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Gabriel, your ICT host. In this video, we shall be looking at paper 3 of May-June 2025. This is variant 1 and that is why it is called 3-1. Okay? Now, typically paper 3 lasts for 2 hours 15 minutes. It's a practical paper. In the previous video, I already explained website authoring part of this question. But in this video, I'll be explaining spreadsheet part. And I know a lot of candidates have had issues with spreadsheet questions in the past. But this video will really help you to understand how some of these spreadsheet questions normally come and you'll be able to handle them better. Now, let's go. Now, from experience, a whole lot of candidates have had issue with spreadsheets because of calculations. But in this video, I'm going to explain step by step and help you understand how to apply some logical reasoning to some of these spreadsheet questions. So join me as I unravel the secret behind this spreadsheet question. Now, let's go to spreadsheets. Here is a spreadsheet part of this paper. You will assist Tawara Racing to analyze performance data when testing their racing cars. Now, open and examine the file trtest.csv. I would like you to follow the instruction one after the other. So you go to your source file folder. I think here is my source file folder. Then you open the file. Here is the file trtest. Okay, you see the way the data is arranged. I'll require you to zoom it in to see clearly how the data is arranged. So let's try to study the data in this spreadsheet. For example, we can see lap, this particular column. We see supercharger, minutes, seconds, and thousandths of a second, then lap time. Somehow, you will see that this lap is increasing. So you can imagine what the question will probably ask you to do with this. Then we have these columns filled already on or off for supercharger. Then we have the minutes, usually one all through, and the seconds and thousands of a second. Normally, thousand of a second is like saying you are dividing by 1000 kind of. So that will inform you when you see the real question. But of course, you have taken time to understand the data in this spreadsheet. Also, if you look at here, we have the fastest lap times, lowest lap time. That means we are going to do some calculations here. So let's go back to the question. So the question say, place right aligned in the header the text created by. So I'm going to pick this created by, followed by a space, then your name, center number, and candidate number in the header. So you go insert, then go to text in the header. If you read the question again, right align. So you come to the rightmost column, then you put, I want to paste what I copy here. So that is created by, then space, according to the instruction, a space. Then after the space, your name, center number, and candidate number. So you type your name, candidate's name, center number, and candidate number. Let me use 1. Okay, that's the first thing. After that, then it says that place in the footer the text created on, just like the header, followed by a space, the automated date, a space. Okay, then I go to the footer, text footer. I see have it here, so I can just scroll to go to the footer. This is the footer part. Then it said we should place it in the footer. The text, it didn't tell us the particular alignment, so you can put it anywhere. So I will put it at the center then, since they didn't give us a particular alignment. So I will put it at the center. So I'll paste created on space, then after the space, automated dates. So you come to automated date, that is current date, space, at according to the instruction, then space, automated time, so that is current time. Okay, what else? All right, so then the question says save this as a spreadsheet, emphasis on a spreadsheet with the file name test data, okay, underscore followed by your center number and candidate number. It should look like this. So to save it as a spreadsheet, click out of this so that you see the footer and the header. Okay, you see the header. Then you come to file, go to save as, so that let it save in the same folder. Then save it as a spreadsheet. That means you pick Excel workbook if you are using Microsoft Excel for your spreadsheet package. So don't leave it as CSV, okay? Because CSV is a text file, not a spreadsheet. So then I'll say save. Okay, having done that, I can click on normal view. So I have it this to fill my screen. Then that's done for 3 marks. Now, step 11, enter the missing lap numbers in column A. So let's go to column A. You can see that we have some lap numbers that are not filled. If you look at the way the first 2 laps are arranged, that means it's increasing by 1. So this is 1, 2. So you can do replication. Select these 2, then bring your cursor to this drag and do double tap it, and it's going to fill it up in an increasing number of 1 successively. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is beautiful. Then that is done for 1 mark. The next one will now be place a replicable formula in cell F14. Now, while I was reading this question, I see this instruction, I see F14. Why F14? That's the first question you ask. Now, because we have from F4, you understand, but then why are they asking us to start from F14? Okay, that was just to confuse you if you are not sure of yourself. So for example, if you come here, this F4, now if I locate F14, F14 is here. Okay, so this F14. Now I will tell you what the examiner is trying to do by asking you to start with F14 now. So if you look at it, they said in cell F14 to calculate the time in seconds taken for this lap, the time in seconds. Okay, how do you know the time in seconds? You see the parameters you were given: minutes, seconds, and thousands of a second. You understand? So that means you are converting everything back to second. Now, for example, to convert these minutes back to second, that means what you're doing will be you multiply the minutes valued by 60 so that you can get your answer in seconds. Now, if you have gotten this minute in second by multiplying by 60, now you add that to this seconds column. Okay, that means you have added this. Now, this one is thousands of a second, and this is like whatever value you have here, you are multiplying it by 1 over 1000. So now, so that you can get the answer in seconds. Okay, because this is already thousands of a seconds. That means this is like a subunit of second, because this is 1000 of a second. So that is an idea you need to know. There's a need for analytical skill in this case. So what you do is reading further from the instruction. They said, for example, if the minute equals 1 and the second equals 14 and thousands of a second equals 484, this cell should display 74.484. Now, what they are trying to tell you, this is majority of candidates in this paper, what they were doing is they were trying to use an if function, and that's where the problem is. Now, if you want to use if function here, now the question did not say if otherwise it should return anything, then that should tell you that it's not an if function thing. What they are trying to tell you, they are giving you an example of what you likely get after you have put a correct replicable formula in cell F14. Now, so that is the part that is dicey in this place that many candidates suffered in the examination hall. But following this video, it can help you see that sometimes you need to be able to analyze questions correctly. The moment you get the analysis of the question, you'll be able to attend to the question. So now let's go back to the question. So what you're going to do now, like I've done, is that you want to get the answer in seconds. They have told you, here is the key word here. Place a replicable formula in cell F14 to calculate the time in seconds taken for this lap. So for this particular lap now, the lap time will now be, if I start from here, that will be equals, the first thing is I have the minutes. So this is the minute for this particular row, multiplied by, that is asterisk, multiplied by 60. And I just told you why it is multiplied by 60. So let's say even I put this in brackets, for example, in parentheses. If I put this in parentheses so that you can see, okay, parentheses, okay. Now that means I've converted the minute to seconds by multiplying by 60. Then plus, because this is another second, so it will be a direct addition for this. Is that okay? Plus this. Then the next one will be that plus, I'm going to add this to it also. So all of this, I have it, but because of this thousand of a second, I'm going to divide this by 1000. So that's the meaning. So I will say this divided by 1000. If I like, I can even put this in the brackets too. So to see how the conversion is done in a gradual process, in a gradual process. Okay, yeah. Now, so let me press enter. After I've done that, I got this. Now, but here is the issue. You know, the example they gave us is that if the minute is 1 and the second is 14 and thousands of a second is 484, the answer I should get should be 74.484. So what I'm going to do is, let me confirm that the formula I've used here, let me try to replicate it down to this, whether I'll get the same thing. So if I want to do that, after I've done this, let me just replicate it. Let me look for anywhere I have minutes to be 1 and seconds to be 14. For example, this is minute 1, second 14. Okay, this one also is minute 1, second 14, but then I don't have, okay, this one has 484 like they said in the question. So now if I should replicate down, let me see whether I will get what they said I will get if it is this. Oh, beautiful. So when the minute is 1 and the second is 14 and thousands of a second is 484, what I will get will be 74.484 according to the question. So you can see that means this particular line is just here to give you a hint to what you probably get after you have applied your formula. So it means that you're the one that will, think through on the formula to use, like I've just used now. Is that okay? So since they have given you another hint here that 1 minute equals 60 seconds, so you can see that. So this is done. Then they said display data in cell F14 to 3 decimal places. So the point is, they have not asked me to do for all of this, but I needed to do this for me to know whether the formula I used here was correct. And as you can see, it was correct. So let me restore this to what it was. No fill. Just now I could see that what I did was correct. So after I've done this, the next thing is that they said I should format the display to display the data in cell F14 to 3 decimal places. So what I will do is that while I have it, even though it's showing 3 decimal places, but for it to be consistent throughout my replicating, so I can come here and format it. So I can say increase decimal. So that I've increased it to 3 decimal places here. So the next thing is for me to replicate. So I can just drag down this drag and do. Okay, drag it, or you can even use, you can select and say fill up and fill down. So I have this and say where is my replicate? I'll say fill down to this, and that will be done. Where's my fill? Okay, let me use this directly. Okay, I'll just drag it down for this. You see 3 decimal places, and I'll drag this one also from here down, then up to this place, and you can see that 74.484. So that's when I know that what I've done is correct. Beautiful. So you can see that. Then the next thing to do according to the instruction is replicate this for all labs, and that's why I did the replication for 6 marks. Then the next instruction says that insert 10 rows between rows 1 and 2. Between rows 1 and 2. Okay, yeah, this is row 1, this is row 2. So if I want to insert new rows in between 1 and 2, so I'm going to click here on 2 so that the new row will be inserted between 1 and 2. So if I click on insert, the first row was inserted. You can see that if I click on it again, a new row inserted, making 2. But of course, I want to insert 10 according to the instruction. It said insert 10 rows. So now that I have 2, if I select these 2, so that means I will insert another new 2, making 4. Can you see? Then I can still do it again. This is the third one, making 6. Okay, this is fourth one, making 8, and this is the fifth one, making 10. So you can see I have 10 new rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the new row. Beautiful. Then the next one is move the contents of cells age 13 to age 20 into cells A3 to A10. The question say move. So I'm not just replicating, I mean duplicating, I'm moving it. So to move, there are different ways of the content of age 13. Yes, age 13 to age 20. So when I have selected this, I can right click and cut, or I can drag from this edge. If I click on it on this edge, you can drag it and move it to the question say we should move it between A2, is it A3 to A10? Let me confirm, A3 to A10, and that's what I've done. So you can see that's beautifully done. Now the next thing is merge cells A1 to F1. So A1, this A1, select it to F1, then click on merge. You see that, and it is centered. Okay, after that, then make it to have a black 36-point sans serif font, a black 36. So I'll select it, 36 sans serif. Sans serif is Arial or Aptos, just as I have it. 36 and black. Okay, it's black. Then the next thing is on a yellow background, black. So I'll select and make black, yellow background. So I come to fill yellow. Okay, beautiful. Then the next thing is, let me double click this so that this will open up. Okay, good. 36 as I've been asked by the question. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then after that, the next thing, so you can see that the text is wrapping within the same row. So what I'm going to do is, as I have selected this, I'll come to wrap text. Beautiful. After the wrap text, then I will open up this. You can see how this is opened up. So I'll open up so that I can have supercharger to be the last thing there. Supercharger. So and for me to have the supercharger, I'll do this. Okay, beautiful. Supercharger, beautiful. Okay, then confirm that it is supercharger. Okay, on the practice circuit, beautiful. Then you see that the borderline of this thing is done, so I'm going to do that. So I'll select this. Before that, you realize that the content here, they are moved, they are right aligned, so I'm going to do that. So select this and make them right aligned. Okay, then I'll put the border lines, select it, put the border line. Okay, these two, with the borderline. Okay. Then what's the next thing? Now, if you look at row 12 lap times, so I'm going to do something like this. Select it to F. Okay. Then merge and center. You see that not only merge and center, then they put the borderline. If you look at row 13, all the text here, they were wrapped and then center and middle aligned. So I'm going to do that. Wrap, and then middle align. Okay, good. So I can open up this. Okay, so I have it to look like thousands of a second. Beautiful. Okay. G, why is G eating lap time? Oh, sorry. Like I mistakenly eat this. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Then merge and center. Okay, beautiful. Good. Good. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Then okay. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So the next thing for me to do is to see what we can do with this. So having done that, the next thing is to put the borderline for this as we have it in the model given to us. Okay, this is cubes. All right. If you look at this, lab is beautiful. Okay. So then having done this, the next thing is to go with the question. So I was careful taking time so that I can end the full mark here, 7 mark. So place in cell B3 a formula to display the fastest lap time from the data displayed. Now, place in cell B3. So this way we are putting B3. So the fastest here will mean that the lap time, the minimum lap time will be the fastest. Okay, the minimum here. So to get that, I will click here and start with equals mean. That is minimum. That's a function called minimum. And I'll select the range of cells here. Then I press enter. So it has picked 70.021 as the minimum. So the next question says that that's for 2 marks. Then place in cell B4 a formula to display the slowest. The slowest would be the one with the highest number, and the function to use would be max. Max equals max, sorry, max, maximum. Okay, and I'll select the range. Good. All right, so that is done. Then the next one will be placed in cell B5 a formula to display the average lap time. B5 average lap time. So average lap time will be equals average. Then I'll select the range of cells here. Okay, then I press enter. So that will give me this is average lap time. Then the next one will be place in cell B6 a formula to display the number of laps. Now note the number of laps where the supercharger was on. So what we are saying that how many times do we have supercharger to be on? So that will be count if equals count if, because we want to know the number of time. So that will be count if. What was the range? The range will be this supercharger and comma. What was the criteria? Equals on. So to do equals on, that will be, we'll put speech mark and put equals on, right? Okay, all right. So that happened for 18 times that we have on. Okay, then the next one, place in cell B7 a formula to display the number of laps where the supercharger was off. The supercharger was off. So that is something similar to this. Okay, but we are going to put off instead of on. Okay, so I'm going to come here and paste that. Okay, and this will be off. Okay, that is 22. And if you add the two together, on and off, 22 plus 18, that will be 40. That is to tell you that truly you have 40 laps here. So you can see that it is correct from there. Then, what's the next instruction? Let's see. Place in cell B7 a formula to display the number of laps where the step 20, place in cell B8 a formula to calculate the average lap time when the supercharger was on. When average lap time when supercharger was on, that will be average if because that's the question. B8, okay, average lap time, that will be equals average if okay, so for the average if, okay, what's the range where we have the criteria? What's the criteria according to the question? That is supercharger, so that will be the range here. So we select this range. Good. Range, comma, what's the criteria? The criteria is where the supercharger was on, so you put the criteria equals on. Then average range, because they are talking about lap time, you read that very well. Average lap time, so this is lap time, so you select this range, that's average range. For that average range, then close bracket and press enter, so you will see that done. Okay, then the next one is place in cell B9 a formula to calculate the average lap time when the supercharger was off. When the supercharger was off, so I'll come here and do the same thing similar to what I have done. Average if, then range is the range for the criteria. I'll have this, comma, was the off, comma, then this is the lap time, then we have that. Okay, beautiful, that is calculated. So we might need to format this to the same thing we did to half 3 decimal, okay, so that it can look like the other one. Then let's go to the next question. So we have just done this. What's up? Place in cell B10 a formula to display SC success if the average lap times were faster with the supercharger on. Okay, if it was faster with the supercharger on, or to display SC field if not. So this is something you look at carefully to get the answer. So you realize that we had already calculated the average lap time, you understand? So but we want to do that with the supercharger on. Okay, you realize if we go back to this, we have set supercharger on, so this is average lap time. So the question is now saying that average lap times if it were faster with the supercharger on. So average lap time, so we are going to do if equals if, open bracket. So if average to display SC success, if the average lap times were faster with the supercharger on. So that will be average, which is this. Okay. Faster means if it's low, if it's less than this. Okay. All right. If B8 is less than B9, then what should it give? It should write SC success. So we put that in speech marks, SC success. If not, comma, what should it return? It should return SC failed. So SC failed. Then you close the bracket. All right, in this case, it is SC failed because average supercharger on is 73, whereas also that means is higher than supercharger off. So you can see that. So that will be B8. If B8 is less than B9, then it should write SC success. If not, it should return SC failed. And as you can see, so that is SC failed. Then the next instruction will be that save your spreadsheet. So all of these for 4 marks. Save your spreadsheet. To save your spreadsheet, just come to File and Save, or just right click and save. Just click save here. It is saved. Then what's the next thing to do? Print your spreadsheet showing the formulae. Make sure that the printout is in landscape orientation. Row and column headings are displayed. Contents of all cells are fully visible for 2 marks. Formulae. So to do that, just come here, come to formulas and click on show formulas. After you have clicked on show formula, select the entire worksheet, then double click this to adjust it. But you can also confirm the orientation that it is in landscape, and then the paper size is A4. That is what I have with my printer, A4. Then I select this, double tap for auto fit content to see that nothing is hidden anywhere. So you can see that nothing is hidden anywhere. Everything is, displayed correctly. So with this, I'm good to go. So I'll print it, go to file, go to print. So, and I have my worksheets, my spreadsheet to look like this. You can see that 2 pages and everything is showing. Then they ask me to show row and column heading. So I go to page setup, come to sheets and click on row and column heading. Then I say okay. You can see the row and column heading showing. Let me confirm if there's any other thing the question asked me to do. Print your spreadsheet showing the formula. Make sure that the printout is in landscape. Row and column headings are displayed. Content of all cells are fully visible. Now let's be sure that everything is properly done. You can see this. Everything is properly done, just like the one given in this model. Okay, with this now, I'm good to go. So then I'll print the first printout. You can see that everything will show the formula used. Okay, beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, then you click on the print button, then you have your printout. That's beautiful. Okay, look at the header, the footer, everything is intact. 2 pages. Okay, then what's the next instruction? The next instruction is print your spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure that the printout field on a single page printout is in portrait orientation, single page, portrait orientation, row and column heading not displayed. Content of all cells are fully visible. So what I'll do is simple. So I just, after printing the formula, I go back to formulas, click on show formulas again, change the page layout to portrait. Make sure that the paper is still in A4. Then I check that my model, my printer looks like the model test data for supercharger. So I do that test data for supercharger, for supercharger. Okay, this is beautiful. All right, nothing is hidden. Okay, so that it looks like thousands of a second. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. All right, minutes. You can see that nothing is hidden, everything is intact. You can see everything is intact. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let me check that. I'm always careful to see that I follow all the instruction because I like to score 100% because that is actually possible. It is actually possible. So I have done everything the instruction asked me to do. So I think I'm good to print now. Okay, all right. So then I'll go to file, go to print, and look at the printout. They said it should be on a single page fit. Printer fit on a single page. So let me see whether it fits on a single page. So I'll just pick and say scaling, fit sheet on one page. All right, so fit on a single page, and everything looks like this on a single page. As I can see, even though the question did not ask me to put border line here, so just want to put and see, go to print, and everything fits on a single page, just as the question has asked me. Everything fits on a single page. So this is beautiful, nothing is hidden, everything is correct, intact, and I'm good to go. So with this, I'll just click on the print button and you see how simple it can be. If you look at this question, it carries 40%, 40 over 70 of the entire paper 3. So the spreadsheet carries higher percentage in this paper for 3-1 variant. So that's how it can be. All right, if you have any question, please use the comment section. We are here to help you until you understand this thing fully. We are looking out for candidate that will get 100% in paper 3. It is actually possible. Now, if you want to see the video on web authoring, you will see that in the previous video. Check the playlist and then ensure you like this video, you share it with other people, and you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I wish you the best in your examination. Bye for now.